Hello and welcome to another edition of Conversation with First Baptist Church. I'm Larry Dixon, and with me today is Adrian Jacob. Adrian, it is a pleasure to have you here with us today.
It's great to be with you, Larry.
So tell me about where you grew up and what life was like as a little boy.
I grew up in a county in northern Kentucky, Pendleton County. Pretty rural, not much going on there. Life growing up there was driving probably at least a half hour to get anywhere significant. It was a good time. Felt like I had a good childhood growing up where I did, and with my family, parents, older brother Max, who's 13 months older than me, younger brother Brent, 4.5 years younger. And
Excellent. So what did you do there in Pendleton County?
in the summer times, our dad forced us to do labor. He planted a bunch of blackberry plants. I don't know how many, probably about 30. Fortunately, most of them were the thornless variety, but he forced us to pick those and do a little business making jam and jelly, which he then sold in large quantities. But it was the Jacob brothers blackberry jelly jam, some raspberry, some grape at one point.
Did they have your picture on the label?
No, they were very basic, kind of word art produced labels that we made on the computer and printed and slapped on jars. But we're talking, I don't know how many jars a year. I mean, it was a lot. He would wheel them into Toyota in Georgetown where he worked and sell them there. The demand was high, so we would have days where we would do all the cooking and jarring, whatever you want to call it. Those days were torture. It took a whole Saturday away from my childhood. It's just really shameful that my father put us through that. Boiling water, steam, burning fingers. It's just torture.
When the family sees this, they're going to go, yeah.
They won't see it. They don't have Facebook. But it was really great in the sense that it forced some work ethics on us and put some cash in our pockets and into bank accounts. Not all of it came to us, but it came to us later.
That's true. Growing up, what was your dream job? What did you want to be?
I definitely didn't want to be a jelly jam maker, but dream gigs would probably be the appropriate phrase generally. I probably went through a couple career ideas growing up. I can remember a time I wanted to do music professionally, a time that I wanted to maybe write music, a time that I was interested in being an engineer, a time that I was interested in being a lawyer, which was a really strange thing that I ended up doing, but lots of different things.
Well, you mentioned that you wanted to be a galactic lawyer.
Oh yeah, I mean, right now that would probably be a sub-department of dream job under 2003, I guess. That was when I came for the Morehead State Band Clinic, and I did that every year of high school and came to be vaguely familiar with the town at that point. But between my junior and senior year of high school, came for the Governor's Scholars Program and was based at the university for that, and came to know the town a bit more through that program.
So how long have you been here in Morehead?
Well, aside from those brief stints, I then came for undergraduate for 4 years. Graduated in 2011, moved back up to the northern Kentucky area, went to law school there, and then came back here in 2014, in the fall of 2014, and I've been living here since then. Long enough that there are things that I should have definitely done in this area that I still haven't. I have not been on Cave Run Lake on a boat. I've been in the lake, but I've not been on it. That something I should probably
And you
fix.
could fish.
But I'm not going to do that at this point in the year.
It's a little cool.
Yeah.
What hobbies do you have?
Most people are familiar with my musical hobbies: singing, playing piano, organ, saxophone. Tennis is something I enjoy very, very much. I hit with Joe Simpson quite a bit. Not only a lot of fun, but it's a good way to actually force myself to get some exercise. But I didn't know tennis existed until I was a freshman in high school, just based on where I grew up and all. I didn't see a tennis court or encounter it until about then and give it a whirl, and really enjoyed it. Sure wish I had known about it earlier in life, because I feel like I could have been something. I could have really gone places with that, if only. And that's surely the only thing that's kept me from becoming, well-known figure in the tennis world.
So you do enjoy it.
I do, a lot. Watching it, playing it, talking about it.
What would be your favorite meal?
My most fond food memories, which there are a lot of, would probably involve a lot of holiday meals with family, because we always had just huge, it was basically like a church potluck, but for the family. Side items are where my heart probably lays most heavily.
Do you cook?
I do. Probably my most passionate thing to cook would be sweets and baking, things like cheesecakes, cakes, pies, breads. And when I say breads, I mean like the kind that are more like cake, like pumpkin, banana bread, or whatever.
What's on your bucket list? Where would you want to go or want to do?
Typically, I get my buckets from Lowe's or right, bucket list. Italy, Germany, England. I've not been to those places. I've not been to Australia. I've touched Central America, and I've been to Greece, and I've been to Spain. And I've been into Canada slightly. So I've got a lot of places I could go.
What about Frosty Freeze at Salt Lick?
I was just there last week.
And what do you get when you go there?
Oh, that depends. I'm into variety, so I think last week when I went there, I had a spicy chicken sandwich and a chili dog with everything on it, which apparently there means including coleslaw. Had no idea, but that was an experience, and I enjoyed it for what it was.
I think they make the best hamburger I've ever had.
They do make a good hamburger there.
What brought you to First Baptist Church?
The first time I ever experienced First Baptist Church would have been when I was in Governor Scholars Program in 2006, the summer of 2006. They had set up the idea of visiting a different church every Sunday to give an experience in different denominations, different types of churches. This was the first one on the list. I came and I really, really enjoyed everything about it, from the sermon, Don Mantooth, the music, Jay Flippin, and Dr. Detweiler and his choir, and I just was in awe. And I just came back every week. I was here for GSP so that I could be in what seemed like a great church.
Of all the characters and personalities in the Bible, who would you like to spend the day with at Rodburn Park?
Ooh, now that changes things. If we're talking about Rodburn Park, because recently I've been thinking, based on our where we've been reading scriptures and studying, King Herod would like to become more familiar, maybe meet and talk with him to find out to what extent he's homicidal, and get some more detail there about him as a character. I don't think I would want to do that at Rodburn Park. That's a little isolated. I would feel a little more endangered with a potentially dangerous character there. Other characters would probably include Mary, Mother of Jesus, I would particularly be interested in having her opinion on the song Mary Did You Know and her feelings about that and its apparent disregard for the angel visiting her, and Moses would be another one. Definitely feel like that would be a good time.
Interesting list. Absolutely. So how has First Baptist Church impacted your life?
Well, First Baptist Church has kind of provided me with an extended family in a way, where I'm not really super close to my family. It's really great to feel like I've got so many close family members here through the church. I'd say caused me to be more heavily involved in the church and the business of the church, and getting involved with roles that I probably would not want to be involved with normally, but here I feel compelled to be because I love the church so much here.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to share with our viewers?
Thinking back on the dream job question, it has crossed my mind that I did take a career aptitude test at one point, I think in 7th grade. The results of that test came back as my number one match being the occupation or career of grave digger, and it was not referring to the monster truck and driving it. It was referring to digging graves, and I don't believe that was accurate, just to clarify. I also don't believe the test was a valid, good test, that being an option for a result. But I feel that that's an interesting thing. Thinking back to my love for tennis, I have brushed past Serena Williams in person, and I almost but did not wet my pants. Met Bill Clinton once in Moorhead, actually.
Wow.
And I was not polite, and it was a memorable experience, though.
So gravedigger and not polite. This has been a conversation with First Baptist Church. I'm Larry Dixon, and with me today has been Adrian Jacob. Adrian, it has been a pleasure.
It's been great.